I don't know if I can muster it within myself to put Amazon Lily above Eddie's Lobby. Wait. How
It
long
was
did
too
this
fucking
flashback?
long, dude. This is what I'm
Wait,
talking about.
1, 2,
it was
3,
very
4, 5,
long.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 episodes?
I just flushed my toilet and it reminded me of our next choice.
I can't believe the end of Egghead was Luffy waking up in a hospital bed in the real world, and going back to his high school in modern-day Japan. Marineford is like a YouTube Shorts arc.
Blix here is what I call a hater, you know.
True.
Yeah, he doesn't deny it.
Here, okay, let me just say, I'm not the one who put Reverse Mountain above Marineford, okay? Gear 5 at the forefront, Hiyori right there! This is a perfect... That's a perfect representation of what it feels like to watch Wano. Hey everyone, this is Editing Blixby here to give you a few disclaimers before we get into the video proper. First and foremost, there's obviously going to be spoilers in this video. My friend isn't a manga reader, so for most of the video we'll be discussing anime content only, but there is one section that has manga spoilers. There will be a warning beforehand, but if you're really squeamish about that sort of thing, this one may be a skip. Secondly, this video was a bit of an impromptu VC moment, so I didn't hit record until a few entries into the tier list. I'll be giving our thought process for those arcs here instead, starting with Romance Dawn. When we first ranked this arc, we were under the impression that Orangetown was a part of this arc, so we put it in C tier, mostly because of the Orangetown content. This is one we go back and re-rank later, so you'll hear more of our thoughts on it later on in the video. Next up on our tier list, we have Drum Island. Now, Drum Island is a perfectly good arc. It's not anything special by One Piece standards. The Chopper backstory is very good. The stuff with Luffy climbing the mountain to save Nami and Sanji's lives was great. That being said, we didn't think there was anything that really separates this arc from the better ones, but we do go back and re-rate this arc later on in the episode, so you'll get more of our opinion on it then. Thirdly, Alabasta, the first major arc of the show and a pretty good tone setter for what's to come. This is a solid A tier. I think it suffers a little bit from its age, especially in the anime. Some of the fight animation in particular is like, it's a little rough. I think One Piece fights don't get really good until around Water 7 Enies Lobby. Before then, they suffer a little bit from all of the stuff in the middle being a little bit mid, and then the finishing blow being really good. Luffy vs. Crocodile is a pretty good fight for what it is. Water Luffy is pretty silly. I really enjoy and kind of miss the creativity of Luffy using his own blood to be able to punch Crocodile as a Logia. That sort of thing is something I feel like is missing from post-time skip after they introduce Haki, where they have to come up with actual creative solutions to counter specific devil fruits, as opposed to just punching it with armament. Robin saving Luffy from Crocodile is pretty sick. It's the first indication of her becoming a Straw Hat, and her introduction in general as a member of the crew is very solid. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff in the middle of Alabasta that's just like walking around in the desert, not doing anything particularly interesting. So it doesn't really make it into the higher echelon of big arcs in One Piece. It's just a pretty solid, pretty good pick, all things considered, which is why we decided to put it in the A tier. The last arc we ranked before starting the recording is Jaya. Now, on this list, Jaya is a bit interesting because it's more of a transitional arc between Skypiea and Alabasta than its own separate story. However, that being said, despite how short it is, it manages to have several standout moments that put it solidly in the A tier. From Blackbeard's speech about mankind's dreams and his introduction in general, to Luffy vs. Bellamy, which is the first time that Oda really builds up a punch for like 5 episodes, and the payoff feels amazing. This arc is just all around very solid. It gets you pretty hyped for Skypiea. It sets up the whole thing with Noland. In terms of transitional arcs, I think this is probably the best one. It just does a very good job of setting you up to go into Skypiea and setting up all of the big payoffs that happen in that arc. So yeah, that's all of the arcs we ranked off screen. This is going to be a bit of a weird cut. There's no real good way to feed into our conversation. So I'm just gonna let you go straight into it. Enjoy the rest of the video.
All right, so what are we getting canceled for in this one? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just saying that I think low-key Jaya might be better than Skypiea.
I mean, Skypiea for me is, I think, the arc that suffered the most from watching it in the anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm from that perspective
that
too.
arc is like 30 episodes too long in the anime, and there's so much just like I mentioned when we were ranking Alabasta that by the time I was done with it, I was really tired of looking at sand, and I was like, dude, Skypiea is going to be so different. I can't wait. And then Skypiea is like 100 episodes of looking at clouds, and it's worse.
But you're not even looking at clouds. You're looking at a forest.
Below Jaya would be crazy though, because Skypiea also has a lot of really good moments, like the Enel face is iconic. The ringing the bell and then Luffy's massive body in the clouds, that is awesome.
I think either way, it's like, it's probably below Alabasta, and then like below Jaya. Don't forget the whole Blackbeard scene is also in Jaya is pretty great.
Oh, true,
but like,
true.
But like, yeah, I could see it either way.
I think I want to put it above Jaya because I feel like it would be weird.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. And
Water
S.
7. S.
Oh, they separate, and he's lobbying. Oh no, we're gonna argue. No.
Yeah. So this is my favorite arc in the show, and it's not really that close.
Yeah.
I would compromise and put it at A tier if you really make me. But...
I mean, if we're doing I mean, obviously we could make our own tier list separately. If we're doing a joined tier list, then yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Put it in A.
Yeah. But like, it has the best emotional moment in the show for me is I Want to Live and the whole Robin flashback sequence. So peak. The end of Luffy versus Lucci. I don't think Luffy versus Lucci is the best fight in One Piece, but it is my favorite in that it's the one fight where I feel like that fight has no gimmicks. Luffy and Lucci just run the fade, and like Luffy barely wins. I think the only other fight you can kind of say that for is Luffy versus Katakuri, but even then, Katakuri is like... Well, I feel like Katakuri should have lost that fight, like, let's be real.
Yeah, as much as I liked that fight, the ending didn't really make sense. Like, it didn't really make sense. Like, I loved that fight, though, but yeah.
That fight's really good, but I feel like... I don't think Luffy's had a fight since or before Luffy versus Lucci. He doesn't get help from anyone in that fight. There's no gimmicks. There's no, like... I gotta run away from him for 15 minutes while my hockey recharges.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Okay, we can put it atop of A.
Yeah.
Even though if I was making this tier list for myself, I would make a separate tier for it and put it at the very top. Let it be known. Post-Enies lobby.
Yeah. So is that Mary?
No, it's everything after that. It's when they get back to Water 7 and Garp shows up and then Ace versus Blackbeard fight and then Shanks pulling up to Whitebeard.
But that's like really good.
Yeah, this is also A or S tier.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with either, honestly. I don't know. What do you lean
I'm not
towards?
putting it above Enies. Actually, I'm not putting it above Enies lobby.
Alright, fair.
That is my hard cap.
Okay, Thriller Bark. Okay, so this is interesting. We're there right now.
Yeah.
This is interesting looking at A. Because like I feel like I can't put it, but then is Drum Island really B? I don't like this.
I don't put it. Bro, but I don't think Jaya is better than Thriller Bark though.
It's weird comparing the short arcs to the long arcs, man. Like it's gonna be a lot of that.
Because Thriller Bark has nothing happened. Thriller Bark has Kuma. Like
I mean, the end of Thriller Bark alone probably puts it above Jaya. To be fair.
Yeah. Thriller Bark has some amazing moments and a lot of like the beginning of Thriller Bark is weird because it's not good story wise, but I just think it's really fun. And we were just talking about
this. It's fun.
It's the last arc where I think it just is fun with low stakes.
Yeah, so we're putting it somewhere in A, right?
Yeah. I feel like I enjoyed the watching experience of Thriller Bark more than Skypiea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And then Jaya, I kind of want to bump Jaya down to B, I'm not going to lie.
I guess so. I mean, but the Bellamy moment was so good.
Yeah, you're right. That was really good.
The fight, like, and the Blackbeard thing, that scene with him across from Blackbeard's, what is it, Hito no Yume, whatever.
A man's dreams will never die. Yeah, that was
good. That's iconic. That's still like relevant now.
That's true. You're right.
But I think it's fine where it is, I think.
I think S is like peak from start to finish. A is like has really good moments, but there's some flaws in it. B is
which is most arcs. Yeah.
B is like it's okay. There's not like it doesn't do anything terribly, but it doesn't do anything great. C is like and then D is like
yeah. Very much agree.
Oh god.
Oh god. So Sabaody won, I assuming, right? Is there a second Sabaody on here?
It's Return to Sabaody. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think this is S.
I think this is S.
Yes, I'm glad we're on the same page there.
It's so good. This entire saga, honestly, I want to put Sabaody, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford.
Yeah,
that's gonna be our hottest take.
Okay, let's do them one at a time, but I think I'm on the same page. Amazon Lily, I will fight you for S with that. I loved Amazon Lily.
Really?
You not put it in an S?
I mean, it's good. Is it good as Water 7 and Sabaody though?
Well, you could put it below them in S.
Okay, hold on. I don't know if I can muster it within myself to put Amazon Lily above Eddie's Lobby.
Right. That's the difficult part, is you put that where you don't want it. What if you put Eddie's Lobby in S and then Amazon Lily in S, and then both of our... Amazon Lily might be my favorite arc, and then we both have our favorite arcs.
Amazon Lily's your favorite arc. That's actually
I don't know. It was at one point.
That's fair.
It was just like I would just loved every second of it. Like the Luffy Boa stuff is like priceless to me. And
yeah, I guess that's the thing. There isn't really anything. Like, there's nothing in Amazon Lily that I'm like super hyped about, but there's nothing in Amazon Lily where I'm like, this was bad.
It's also, is it the first time Luffy uses Conqueror's Haki? I think it is.
Technically the first time Luffy uses Conqueror's Haki is right before Sabaody, when they're fighting Duval, and he Conqueror's Haki blasts Duval's like little elephant guy.
Oh, okay.
That's the first time Luffy uses Conqueror's Haki that people actually remember, though.
Yeah. Is that... What is that considered? Is that considered Sabaody?
I don't know. I guess it's just Sabaody, yeah, because it's like 2 episodes long right before it, so...
It kind of sucks. I thought the Duval thing.
I thought the Duval thing was really funny. Like just the concept of Sanji's wanted poster being a real person is really funny, and then it's like whatever after that. And then the Conqueror's Haki thing was kind of cool, but I feel like that's a lame way for him to use it for the first time. And then it feeds right into Sabaody, and you forget about it because Sabaody's
yeah. Orange Town.
So this is what I was talking about. This is the arc with Buggy. So the Romance Dawn stuff isn't including the arc with Buggy, which actually might upgrade it for me, to be honest.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's just like through Zoro.
Yeah, Romance Dawn is
but then it has Syrup Village, or Syrup Village is a different arc also?
No, Syrup Village is after Orange Town. So Romance Dawn is the first 4 episodes. The Captain Morgan stuff, and then the Luffy's past stuff.
Yeah, I could see that being B then. Is it not in B? Right. Yeah, let's put it in B.
I think I put that in B, and then Orange Town is like C.
Yeah, for sure.
D tier.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if we put it in D tier.
It's like Orange Town has good moments though.
It does. It's like meeting Buggy. No, but I don't want to like give an arc credit for like, oh, it introduced this character, even though we already kind of did do that.
I kind of want to put it in D tier.
I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna argue with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Impel Down.
That's a solid arc right there.
That might be top of A.
I was thinking the same thing. Top of A. Put it there. We got it. Yep.
It's just really. It's like there's nothing that pushes it over the top for me to put it in S tier. Which what I would say about Amazon Lily too, but whatever.
Yeah.
this is a collaborative tier list. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for that, yeah, like. Marineford probably just has to be S. Like, I think I might put Marineford top of A. Good. Don't tell anyone who I am, so they can't come after me for my opinions. G5 Cosmos here, by the way.
All right. Well, I wasn't gonna do it, but here it is.
Marineford's really good. It's really good. It's weird. Like when I was watching it, I was like, this is the best arc. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then, like, whenever I think back on it, I'm like, I just see Luffy running and getting nowhere.
Here's my take. Marineford is the best arc when you first watch it.
Yes,
because it's the
100%.
first time. It's the first time you get to see top tiers in One Piece fighting. It's the first time you get to see the admirals. It's the first time you get to see Sengoku do stuff. It's the first time you get to see
Ace and Luffy reunited. It's amazing. Like it has. We were talking about like arcs that have moments. Like it might have more moments than any arc.
Yes, honestly. I think it has the single most amount of hype moments. But I feel like a lot of it is stuff that when I go back and watch it again, I don't really care that much anymore.
Good. I didn't know you were that much on the same page as me with that. Yeah. I'm
like the first time I watched it, this is like peak fiction, and the second time I watched it, I'm like, this is like after you go and you watch stuff like, actually, Egghead is a perfect example of this, right? Egghead does a lot of the same things as Marineford, where where we're at in the anime right now, it cuts away from the Straw Hats, and it
Yeah.
shows a bunch of just world events happening, which is, I think, kind of similar to Marineford, except Luffy isn't there.
Yeah,
I think
and
Egghead
also
does a way better job of that than Marineford, and I'm going to enjoy going back and watching like Galaxy Impact or Shanks vs. Kid way more than I would want to go back and watch Marineford again.
Also, I mean, especially considering I already pushed for Amazon Lily and Top, I don't know if we would take points away from Marineford for this, but it's Luffy's the only one there. Like Luffy's the only Straw Hat, so it's like.
Yeah, I'm not a massive Like I think Marineford's really good the first time you watch it, and then I'm not. Like I've never been like, yeah, I want to go back and watch Marineford again, you know?
Yeah, same. Like maybe watch some of the moments, but well, even then they flash back to it every 5 episodes. So.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Marineford is like a YouTube Shorts arc.
Yeah.
Like it has so many 5-second moments that are like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever watched, and then it's like 50 episodes of mid in between.
So does this manifest in top of A, bottom of S? What do you think?
Okay, see, I was gonna put it in B tier.
Oh,
which
really?
is crazy.
I won't. You know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I'm putting it top of B.
Because there's just
I'm gonna get cooked for that take.
Yeah, you're gonna get cooked. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing. Like I think I would put it higher, but like honestly, I don't. I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel the same way.
I get why you would put it higher. Don't get me wrong. Like the top of Marineford is some of the best in the show. Yeah. I just think it averages out.
You know what? No. You know what? I'm gonna push bottom of A. Bottom of A. Like Whitebeard, dude. Just like Whitebeard. There's
yeah,
no
like
Galdino.
Whitebeard. And like, you remember Oars Jr.? Remember that guy?
Yes, I remember Oars Jr.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying. It has some peak fiction, and then it has a bunch of. Okay, I'm fine with bottom of A tier.
I think bottom of A is objectively the fairest.
Okay.
Like,
I'm fine with that.
Okay, Post-War.
Post-War, I assume this is... Here, let's go to Crunchyroll.
Wait, Sabo was in the picture.
Yeah, I assume this is the flashback with Ace Sabo Luffy, and then it's...
when they were kids?
Yeah, so it's probably... I assume it starts, like, here? Like, it's the end... This is Shanks ending the war, or maybe this. Like, it's Luffy, the rest of the Straw Hats reacting to Ace's death, and then... Oh, this episode's peak, actually. Hold on.
With Jinbei?
Yeah, when Luffy wakes up, that face is one of the most raw emotional moments in the whole series.
That's good, but then like the whole flashback arc, I didn't like it. I think it was part of it was the timing. Like I think you said that at the time when I was watching it. Like they put that right after you just watched Marineford, and now you watch
right after you watch Ace die, and it's like. I think there's a better part to put the flashback in for sure. Like I think that should have been before Marineford, probably.
Yeah, and also, like, Sabo's flashbacks, obviously there's spoilers in this video if anybody's watching. Sabo's flashbacks make sense when you see Sabo as an adult, and you obviously can't know that he's alive. Like, it's better that you know him as dead as a kid before you learn that he's alive as an adult.
Yeah.
But I thought he felt like a filler character in the flashback, personally.
That's fair. Yeah, it is weird for him to... Like, I already knew who Sabo was going in, so I didn't have that experience. But yeah, I thought it was really weird. Yeah, I guess... Oh my god, wait. How long... Wait. How long is this flashback? It was too fucking
long, dude. This is what I'm talking about.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 12 episodes?
Some of it might have been filler, but I don't even know. But then I will... I don't think this is going to affect my rank, but I will give it credit. I'm pretty sure I cried at the end of that arc because there's a scene where Garp like pulls up to Dadan.
When Dadan like beats him up,
Yeah, and like he's like, I should have done better. Like that shit hit, but like not gonna redeem the arc for me.
Okay, dude, this arc is long actually.
Yeah,
This is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 episodes.
I guess we should clarify: is this tier list strictly anime based?
No, but you've only watched the anime, and I've not read all of the manga. So, once we get past Punk Hazard, my ranking is going to be pretty much just the manga, because I've only read the manga past Punk Hazard. But, like, right now, this is based on... I've only watched the anime up to this point. I think I read Marineford once.
Okay.
Yeah. So, this arc, let's see. Let's go back to the tier list.
Yeah.
Is C tier?
I was just gonna say, like, C tier's right there. It's just waiting for it. Yeah. Okay, good.
There's a lot of good stuff though. Like the stuff with Luffy, C tier is because the stuff with Luffy and Jinbei is really good. The stuff with the Straw Hats React.
I could see it being
really
bottom
good.
of B. I could see it being bottom of B.
But also the stuff with Sanji and Kamabaka Kingdom. That's actually the only non-filler content in the anime that I skipped. Because I just didn't want to watch that.
I actually thought that was really funny. Like, it's more of the Sanji running. Oh, that we didn't. That's not in the same video.
Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah,
we didn't record.
We just gag tier
we
list.
just made the gag tier list. Hold on, actually, I still have it pulled up. Here.
You still have it pulled up. Keep in mind, this was a compromise between the two of us.
Here's the running gag tier list. I'm flashing it for 2 seconds. You can pause if you want to. Okay. Bottom of B tier, I think.
That's fine. That's fine.
Return to Sabaody.
Sabaody 2 also, I thought, really good. How do you feel about it?
I think this is solid A tier.
Yeah, so definitely.
I think there's a lot of. This is like an aura merchant arc. Like, there's.
I don't know what that means.
It just look like it's focused on just looking cool.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. That scene when like the fake Luffy or whoever, like Luffy just has like a big backpack on or whatever. He's like walking and he just like he does the Conqueror's hockey so naturally, just looks at the guy.
That was so sick. And then no. My favorite part is when he's
dodges the thing,
fighting the pacifista, and he like observation hockeys the laser and then one taps the pacifista. That was so sick.
Right after Sabaody won, where like, the whole Straw Hat crew like barely like couldn't beat one of them. Yeah, it's a really. It's like pretty high on A. I think it's pretty. I think
is it though? Is it better than like Alabasta?
For me, it's definitely better than Alabasta.
Really? I mean, I guess.
And the hype of it's like the first post time skip arc.
I think it's above Post-Enies lobby. Is it above Impel Down?
I think it might. It's again. It's one of those like long versus short. It's tough.
Yeah, that's the thing. It feels weird putting Return to Sabaody this high because it's like there's not much depth to it, right? It's not like an arc where you're getting story content or like a bunch of interesting character moments. It's just, hey, look, the Straw Hats are cool now.
So does it add to or subtract from the arc's position that they introduced Caribou?
Oh, that's the goat. I don't know what you're talking about.
so then I guess that at the top of A then, I guess, right?
No, I'm not putting it above Impel Down, I think.
C tier for Caribou.
Yeah, I think this is weird because I feel like you have to judge Return to Sabaody on a different scale.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's not...
I think it's fine where it is.
Okay, Fishman Island.
This is an interesting one.
I want to hear your take first because this is probably my second hottest take after Marineford.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll say it anyway because I already know your take. You told me recently.
We've had this conversation before.
Yeah, I mean, I like the arc. For me, I think it might be top of B.
Really? Okay.
But I could see it being an A. I just wouldn't put it that high on A.
So
it's a solid arc, either way.
Oh, the problem is, Fishman Island. I want to put Fishman Island in S tier. I don't think I can justify it. I really don't because I like Fishman Island as a concept more than I like Fishman Island in practice. Because I think the story that the arc is telling overall is really good. I think it has like, honestly, like it's like the best self-contained story in all of One Piece. Like if you watched Fishman Island as an arc, it like tells a complete story about generational racism, which is so wild for One Piece and just like out of the blue. But I really like it. There's the stuff with Luffy and Big Mom at the end. There's It's where you get like introduced to the concept of Jinbei joining the crew, which pays off way later.
There's so many connections with other things. Like when you said self-contained story, like you're right, but I'm thinking to myself like it doesn't feel that way to me because besides for Hordy himself, like everything else about it ties into so many other things. Like the generational racism thing was already there with Arlong Park. You just didn't know it. You know? Yeah. Like. Yeah,
that's true. It has a lot of ties to other arcs, but what I meant by self-contained story is like...
No, I'm agreeing with you in a way. I'm saying like it manages to have a self-contained story that expands even beyond that. Like it would be fine on its own, but then it goes even bigger.
Yeah, like a lot of other arcs in One Piece lead into other stuff.
Yes.
Fishman Island feels like it's like there's stuff that happens in Fishman Island that connects to other things, but the plot and the conflict of Fishman Island resolves itself within the arc.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of villains in One Piece who are gonna come back, probably. Horty Jones is not one of them.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And here's I guess this is the best place for my Horty Jones is a good character rant, because I think I've seen so many people say he's like the worst villain in One Piece, and it's like the twist where he is nobody is bad, but like I think people who say that are missing the entire point of the character, because like the point of the arc is that like anyone can be Horty Jones if you grow up in that environment, right?
Yeah.
Like, he as a character is not necessarily important because he's like this all-consuming evil guy. Like, he's not Kaido, where the whole point of the arc is we have to beat that guy because he's so strong, which it's pretty unique for One Piece, which is why I think people don't really like it, because it's not something that the series does ever really. The whole point of Fishman Island is that some things are bigger than just punch the big guy and then you win. Which is why, like I think the scene where Zoro fights Horty underwater and like one-taps him is really sick, because like, yeah, that could have just happened the whole time, but it wouldn't have solved anything, and it actually would have made things worse.
I love that scene.
And it's also just raw. Like...
Yeah, speaking of the just raw part of it, like, on a much more superficial standpoint, it's the first real post-time skip arc, and you're seeing, like, all the Straw Hats doing their new shit for the first time, and, like, that was hype. Like,
yeah. Like, dude, the Conqueror's Hockey Blast, where Luffy knocks out 50,000 guys.
Oh, God, yes. And then Zoro's doing all his Rengoku, like the Purgatory Onigiri or whatever, and I could definitely see it somewhere in A tier. I could definitely see it somewhere in A tier. I wouldn't put it in S though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, we could. Yeah.
Dude, Fishman Island above Marineford is gonna be. I'm gonna get cooked. I'm gonna get cooked for that. Above Jaya probably. Above Skypiea probably.
I would put it above Skypiea for sure. Yeah.
Above Thriller Bark, yeah. Above Alabasta, probably.
Honestly, the more I look at this, I feel like Marineford should be above a lot of these arcs. But I don't really care.
We're gonna have to move Marineford up a little bit.
Yeah.
Above Post-Enies Lobby, probably.
It's another one that's hard because it's a short arc.
Above Return to Sabaody, I think so.
I mean, it's tough. Again, it's like it's a whole arc versus a little.
I kind of like it here.
That's fine there, I think.
Okay. And Marineford, I think we can put it like.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Maybe before Return to Sabaody.
Like that, or like this?
Well, like, if we put it above Return to Sabaody, then like our whole point in putting it as low as it was is kind of like erased. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if we're saying we don't think it's as good as it's hyped up to be, then we could at least put it a bit before Return to Sabaody, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. But Post-Enies Lobby is really good though.
It is, but it's like 2 episodes, isn't it? Like.
Yeah, but it's really good.
it's probably the shortest arc here.
Yeah, but in that arc you get the reveal of Garp being Luffy's grandpa, the reveal of Dragon being Luffy's dad, seeing Kobe and Helmeppo again, seeing Ace and Blackbeard fight, seeing Shanks pull up and knock Whitebeard's entire crew out with Conqueror's Hockey, and then split the sky with him, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I forgot all that other stuff happened in it too. It's also the first arc where they mentioned Vegapunk. Alright, whatever. Let's leave it.
It's really good. It's really good. Like it's a really short arc, but there's so much condensed into there. It's like the setup for all of what happens over the next. Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm not complaining. Okay, Punk Hazard though. I mean, probably. I guess probably.
Punk Hazard is like the most meh arc in One Piece. I barely remember anything about it, to be honest. Like, what even happens in Punk Hazard?
It was just like a retelling of Thriller Bark from like a structure. At first, it felt like, and then, I mean, it introduces.
Stuff with Law was kind of cool.
Yeah, the stuff. It basically introduces Law as like a relevant character. I mean, he's in Sabaody, but like. Yeah. Like I can't really argue with it being C tier. I don't know if it should be in C tier, but like something's got to be. I don't know. Well, we can come back to it if.
I think it's like whatever. I could. This is so. This is the point where I stopped watching the anime and started reading the manga.
Yeah.
Which is like because Punk Hazard. I started watching it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this dragged out of the anime for 100 episodes. So then I just swapped over to the manga, and it was a great decision.
Yeah. So this will be interesting considering I watched Dressrosa in the anime and you read it.
Yeah.
And usually it's the anime people that are hating on Dressrosa, but I would actually put it in S, but I don't know how you feel about it.
I think I'm fine with that. I think Dressrosa is really good. I think there's some Dressrosa has a lot of. Oh, dude, I forgot to mention the Sanji stuff in Fishman Island. Whatever. This is the reason I bring that up is because I have a similar thing with Dressrosa where like there's a lot of moments that I hate. Well, not a lot, but there's a couple moments that I hate in Dressrosa.
The Usopp.
The Usopp moment is so bad. That's probably like my least favorite moment in the series.
Yeah.
And people gas him up because he unlocked observation right after that. Like you didn't just commit the worst
with the
history.
With the snipe.
Sugar, yeah.
Yeah. That was probably like. Oh yeah, I think you said there was something better. I forget what the better one was, but I think that's like easily one of the best Usopp moments, even though the worst one.
I think Usopp versus Perona is his best moment. Yeah, whatever. This is not an Usopp montage.
Right. Yeah. So for my perspective from Dressrosa, like early to mid Dressrosa, I think might be. It's hard to compete with Egghead, but might be the most I've ever enjoyed One Piece. Like you remember me in the Discord every day. I was like peak Dressrosa, peak. So it's funny because looking at it, I don't even remember what I was liking so much.
Yeah,
but it just felt like. It felt like always something crazy good was happening. Like they introduced the Tontata. I think Doflamingo is a top 3 One Piece villain.
Oh, for sure,
so far.
Sure. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Yeah. I think for me, Dressrosa only became pretty bad towards the end, but that's also anime limited. Like Zoro spending God knows how many fights just like in a stalemate with that rock guy, Pika.
Yeah.
And then the end just dragged out really long.
Yeah.
But
so the thing is, in the manga, it did not. So
yeah. So if it didn't in the manga, and then we're not going strictly by anime, and then even after that, it ends with the Fujitora moment.
Yeah, Fujitora is awesome.
Put that shit in S. Put that shit in S.
Yeah. No, it's definitely going in S. That was never in contention. I was just wondering how high.
Yeah, I don't care if we lower Amazon Lily. Honestly, the more I really love the arc, but like, the more we make this list, it's like we're trying to make like a definitive list.
That's the thing. I have no problems with Amazon Lily, but I just don't think it's S tier because there's not any like super sick moments in it.
I'm just a sucker for like the whole Luffy Boa stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's like it doesn't have to be S.
Okay, Dressrosa above Sabaody or below it?
I would say I think above, especially if the manga was like didn't drag, then yeah,
that's fair. Enies Lobby for me is the top, so just disregard me putting things above Enies Lobby because in my opinion none of them are. Oh, Zoe is solid. I thought Zoe was solid. It's like it's a transition arc kind of. Yeah, which is like I think Beecher. It's like solid. It's fine. I don't have that many complaints with it. I thought the stuff where they're like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's fine.
I mean, there was the thing with the
where they're like hiding the samurai and they were like.
Like, you know, after meeting the samurai and knowing who Raizo is, and that being the whole point of the arc, it makes me like the arc less.
Yeah, we gotta save that for the Wano segment, though.
You really did all that for that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Whole Cake,
that might be our hottest take, actually. Yeah, Whole Cake S tier, how high up?
Oh, honestly,
Dressrosa.
I would say above, but that's based on anime. That's based on anime.
Mm-hmm.
I say Whole Cake in the anime. Again, Egghead is not done yet, but Whole Cake in the anime for me was the most solid arc. To me, it had like no like stupid moments where I was like, oh, this is dragging, or this wouldn't happen, or like it didn't have any like top tier moments to me, but it had a lot of high tier moments and like no low tier moments. That was my Whole Cake experience.
Yeah, Whole Cake for me is like. I mean, it's basically just recycled Enies Lobby in terms of structure, but I think that's why I like it so much. For me, it feels like the only post-time skip arc that has like a pre-time skip vibe, where it's focusing a lot on Sanji as a character and using that as a shell to base an arc around, which I like way more than when it's like, hey, this world event is happening in One Piece, and the Straw Hats have to deal with it, which I
Right.
feel like is what most of the other post-time skip arcs are. I really like what Whole Cake did for Sanji, because before
Yeah.
that I would put him in like the bottom tier, not the bottom tier, but the bottom half of the Straw Hat crew for ones I
Right.
like, and after it, I think they did him so well that I like him as a character again.
Yeah. And also Big Mom, arguably also top 3 One Piece
Yeah.
villain. Like,
Whole Cake
just,
Island Big Mom is so raw.
yeah, like the flashbacks. I mean, I've already told you about this, but like I think Big Mom is such like I would say underrated, but it's not like I actually know what people consider her to be. But I feel like she's probably an underrated villain. I think she's just such a great character because she was like a truly innocent child that was just like manipulated by the government. With Mother Carmel or whatever, and all that. So I think, and then what she becomes as a result of that. And then there's all the stuff with her and the giants. Like, yeah, and the whole cake was just so good.
The stuff where like Brooks sleeps with Big Mom, and then dude, the part where Jinbei leaves Big Mom's crew.
Oh yeah, dude!
And she
oh
tries
my God.
to take his life, but he's not afraid of her. That's
Yes, yes, Jumbo is the peak character, and I mean, because I was arguing with my friend about this. Like, it's apparently debated like when Jinbei is considered to be officially a Straw Hat, but I say it's that moment. That's
Probably,
the moment
yeah,
where he
yeah.
actually. Yeah, I mean, the only time you can say before that is the end of Fishman, but I would say that no, he's not.
No, he
a Straw Hat
specifically is
then.
like, I can't join you yet. I have to get rid of Big Mom
Yes. Yeah, but when he leaves Big Mom, like, then he's a Straw Hat, and then yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a really interesting.
Yeah.
So
Because-
Reverie, are we counting the new?
Same question.
Are we counting the new Reverie stuff?
Same question I was gonna ask. I feel like, I mean, are we talking about what literally happened, or were we talking about what was shown at a certain point in time?
Yeah,
is the
exactly. Are we
question.
talking about the literal Reverie arc as it is presented in the anime, like the sequence of episodes?
I think so. I think so because like,
As an
and I
arc,
assume
yeah.
I assume it's the same in the manga. And then, like, would you say that the Reverie flashbacks that with Emu and all that are not Egghead? You know, like,
Yeah, well, yeah, it's weird.
because then I would put Reverie in like B or even C. I thought Reverie was kind of boring.
Yeah, there was a couple fun, cool moments.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the moment where all of the princesses meet up and talk about Luffy was
Yes.
really fun. The moment where Garp is like talking, you get to see the prince guy from Luffy and Sabo's hometown.
Yes, yes.
And
And
Garp is,
Sabo
like,
in the
talking
night
deep to him.
costume.
There's a lot of like fun moments that are just like, oh, I'm passively enjoying this.
Yeah.
But there's
The anime kind of ruined it because every episode was like full of flashbacks. So
Oh,
that is
sure,
part
yeah.
part of my bias, but that doesn't really count for what we're saying. So I think B is a fair spot.
I think
then.
yeah, solid B tier, solid B tier.
Yeah.
Let's see. Above post-war, probably. Above Romance Dawn? Question mark. That's the thing. I feel like Romance Dawn and Reverie are like opposite arcs, where Romance Dawn
Yeah.
is completely just like living in the moment, and Reverie is completely about, hey, look at all these characters that you know coming back. you
Yeah.
know? So it's weird to when
Yeah. I'm gonna have to use the bathroom. You can edit this part out.
perfect. He will never know.
Okay.
Welcome
So-
back. Welcome back.
I just flushed my toilet and it reminded me of our next choice, Syrup Village.
That's crazy.
Straight B tier.
Yeah,
arguments.
that's fair. Probably above all. Yeah, I kind of like
Yeah,
Usopp
it's a
and
better
Kaya.
arc.
I like
It's
Usopp
more
and
of a-
Kaya, but that's about it.
It's a more complete arc than Orange Town in a way, or I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think it's that bad. Like I probably put it in C tier, but bottom of C tier. So
Yeah,
it's like whatever.
I think like yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
boy, do we want to save Wano for last? Like,
Let's save Wano for last.
yeah, let's
You know,
come back.
let's go Wano Egghead.
Yes,
Egghead
yes,
Wano.
yes. Yeah. Baratie, one of the best like East Blue arcs for
Yeah,
sure.
for
I
sure.
think.
I think the old Logtown and Arlong Park are both really good too. But yeah, Baratie is
I think it's B.
B. Yeah.
Like
is
high
it top
B.
of B or is it below Drum Island? Well, it might be above Drum Island. Because I don't think Drum Island has anything as good as the Zoro Mihawk moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's more significant in that way. Yeah. I think that's fine. And then the Sanji like leaving the chef family. Yeah.
Baratie Sanji is like the only version of Sanji that I like until Whole Cake Island.
Fair.
Because he's not so over the top with the simping. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. So then Arlong Park is interesting. I mean, I've been vocal to you about how like the Nami stabbing her arm moment is in my top 3 One Piece moments ever.
Yeah, I think Arlong Park is the first really good arc. It's definitely A tier, I think.
I guess. See, there's most of the arc I don't like, but just some of the arc, like the Nami story, I really like.
Yeah, the Nami story is really good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's the thing. The fights at the One Piece. My One Piece opinion is that the fights in One Piece aren't good until like Water 7.
Yeah.
Like up until that point, well, yeah, because the killing blows in One Piece are good. Like I've said this before, the part in Arlong Park where he like breaks down the whole building and then you see him stand up out of the rubble in this like silhouetted by the sun is so sick.
The battle axe. I agree.
Yeah. But like the rest of the fight just sucks.
It did. And I don't know. For me, I would put it in B, but I could see it being A.
I'm thinking bottom of A or top of B.
Yeah. You could choose between those two.
Okay. I guess the distinction doesn't really matter. I think I can put it. I think I can put it top of A. Or bottom of A. Logtown.
I think it's again like. It's such a hard tier list to make because there's like not only is there difference in lengths between arcs, but there's like differences in between like how serious an arc is. Like Logtown is far less serious than Arlong Park, kind of, but I think it was a better arc.
This is the thing. I think for me, Logtown is like my favorite pre-time skip vibes arc.
Yeah.
Where it's not like
for sure.
Nothing super insane is happening. There's not that much plot going on, but I just really enjoy like watching Logan. It's just so fun. And this is
Zoro with the sword, he throws it in the air.
Yeah. And this is one of the arcs that I think is actively better in the anime than the manga. Because there's a couple episodes here.
There's good fillers.
Yeah,
like the thing with the guy with Usopp, Yasop's like old rival or something.
Mm-hmm. So all of the stuff, pretty sure between this one and then these two are filler. And then
because Sanji has a cook-off. Yeah, I remember those. Those two were actually pretty good fillers. Like they fit like right in.
Fun. And I think I remember reading somewhere. I don't know. I'm like 80% that this is true. I remember reading somewhere that Oda wanted to put more stuff in Logtown in the manga, but he wanted them to get to the Grand Line at chapter 100, so he couldn't. The Logtown filler feels like the stuff Oda wanted to be in the manga, but cut for time.
Yeah, I would agree. Whether that's true or not, it makes sense.
So for me, Logtown and Amazon Lily are really similar, where it's like there's nothing in the arc that I dislike or wish wasn't there, but I don't think there's anything in the arc that's like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, we could put Amazon Lily in A, but I think this also should be an A.
Yeah, I feel like I would put both Amazon Lily and Logtown like here maybe.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, where you want Amazon Lily down there too?
I mean, I like it a lot, but like, the more objective we try and make this tier list, like, I can't really argue for it, you know?
Okay. Yeah, Lil Bro did not deserve to be up there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, Reverse Mountain is not really an arc. Isn't it like one episode?
It's a couple. Here, let's look. Reverse Mountain would be Good thing there's no filler arcs on here, because you would get to hear me tear the Rainbow Mist arc a new one.
oh no, we're not working filler arcs here.
2 episodes.
How is it even 2 episodes? Like, because it counts the old man, like the whale, like Laboon.
Yeah. It's the stuff with Laboon.
Yeah, like a 2-episode arc this has to be the shortest arc.
Yes, probably.
That's so hard to rank. I mean, it was good. It was amazing though.
Yeah,
they get to the Grand Line, like.
Yeah, both of the 2 episodes are really good. I really like that the moment when they first meet the old man.
Yeah.
In the anime, and it does all the cuts. That's one of the best bits in One Piece, I think.
Honestly, I think this is S. Like they're getting to the Grand Line. How can that not be S if you really think about it?
S tier is crazy. I mean,
I know
get it.
it's two episodes. It's like
I get why. I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Also, like, do you remember in the anime? I'll let you finish. But do you remember in the anime when they play the song, the da 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 da, like when they're first getting over the mountain and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I get it. I get where you're coming from. I think I'm coming to this tier list from a perspective of which arcs have the most good in them, and not which arcs have the least bad in them. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I get that, like, everything in Reverse Mountain is great, but I think that about Amazon Lily and Logtown too. I think, for me, this arc is in a similar place, where it's like, everything in the arc is really good, but there's nothing in the arc that I'm like, does Reverse Mountain have the same peaks as Sabaody or Dressrosa or Whole Cake or Water 7? And for me, the answer is no. But if you want to put it in S tier, that's fine.
No, I'm fine with it in A, but I feel like getting over the Grand Line was like one of those peaks. I feel like that was. I mean, you watch 100 episodes or so. Like, again, I thought the Grand Line was going to be much later in the show, right? But like that was pretty huge. But I think A at least, for sure.
I'm fine with putting it in A. I'm definitely fine with putting it in A. I'm putting I'll let you choose where to put it.
I mean,
you have stronger opinions on it than I do.
I mean, I guess if I'm saying that I could put it in S, then how could I not put it top of A, right? Like if I'm saying that, like it's such a weird. It's 2 episodes, you know, like it's such a weird thing to judge. But it's like, I know I said before that I don't like judging an arc based on like its significance or whatever, but it's like getting to the Grand Line is like one of the most significant things possible in One Piece, you know.
Here, okay, let me just say, I'm not the one who put Reverse Mountain above Marineford, okay? I'm not taking credit for this decision. So,
like, I don't even like that that's on the list, but it has to be.
Let it be known.
You know, let's move on. Whiskey Peak. Whiskey Peak was actually really good, I thought. It had a lot of, I mean, not like amazing good, but like I could see it being low A or high B.
Yeah, I think I'm putting it in B tier. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like... It's fine. I don't think it's as good at being inconsequential as Amazon Lily or Logtown.
Yeah.
I think it's like the fight between Zoro and Luffy was kind of contrived. I wasn't really a big fan of that.
Oh, I like that actually.
I thought the fight itself was fun, but like the reason it was happening, I was like, oh my god.
Yes, the reason was stupid, but it was so cool because the two Baroque Works members who were like hyped up to be so strong were just like they didn't even notice them.
Yeah, that was really funny. The Robin introduction was pretty cool.
Yeah,
where she like blows up, like the whole ocean is just exploded. Which how did she do that, by the way?
And more was in that one.
Yeah. But then there's so much filler stuff where there's like fighting Baroque Works people and I don't care.
Yeah, it's
not
probably
filler,
B.
but like
probably B.
Above or below Drum Island?
I think that's fair.
I think below Drum Island, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
Little Garden.
Little Garden's... It's like... It's good, but... That's what I would say. Is it C? It might be C. I like it, though, but it might be C. Like, Luffy getting caught underneath a rock. The fucking boss is Galdino or whatever his actual name is.
Let it go, Galdino, Mr. 3.
Zoro's about to cut his legs off for one of the most mid villains in the series.
Yeah, so what I will say is, Little Garden is the only arc in all of One Piece that I felt actively frustrated watching. Like
because of the rock.
Because of the stuff with Mr. 3, because of the stuff with the rock, because of when Luffy shows up and then this little painter girl puts like a little painter thing on his back and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so...
Wait, are you making a case for D here, or is that what's going on?
I'm fine with C.
I think C is where it goes.
Because I think a lot of the stuff that happens in it is good. You get to meet the Giants for the first time, you get to hear about Elbaf for the first time.
Yes.
You get... It leads into Drum Island.
Nami having a virus that needs to be cured. Yeah, I think that's exactly where I put it, under Punk Hazard. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, so Egghead first,
Yeah, Egghead first. Okay, well, I mean, sorry. So, I mean, I'll start because I'm only anime. I'm only up to Egghead anime. Honestly, I think it's, see, I don't like judging an incomplete arc. I think it's actually the best arc so far in the anime. If somehow One Piece never continued or whatever, I would put it top. But okay. I think S is in. Well, unless the manga just ruins whatever happens, if whatever happens after is bad, I would say it besides for that, it has to be S.
Yeah. Okay. So, from the stuff you've seen, I agree with you on that. I'm gonna talk manga spoilers for a second. I'm gonna talk manga spoilers for a second. I'm gonna talk manga spoilers for a second. So, Egghead for me, Egghead is like in my top 2 or 3 arcs until the ending. I love. Everything that's been shown in the manga so far is peak, and then the Kuma backstory is so good. I really liked watching Luffy versus Kizaru. When all 5 Gorosei pulled up on the island, oh my god. I have mixed feelings, because I think the ending was cool, but there's also a lot of stuff that I don't like about it. All the stuff with Gear 5 Bonnie, and like the hockey knot, and the Emeth the robot. I think the way they got out of the situation was a little plot armory, which I normally don't have a problem with, but at the end of Egghead, it just felt, I don't know. I still think it was good. I'm just like a little iffy on it compared to the rest of the arc, which is like peak top 1 One Piece. If anyone's read Sakamoto Days, well, I guess random spoilers for Sakamoto Days, but the end of the museum arc, where they're like, so much stuff is happening, and then it ends in like 2 chapters, and you're like, oh, that was it? That's kind of what Egghead felt like for me. Really, really, really good arc, kind of unsatisfying ending. So I'm gonna put it. Actually, I guess we can. I'll call Cosmos back. Okay.
So I was laughing because I'm just like picturing you like rambling on about something, and then without me hearing what you're saying, I'm imagining you dragging Egghead into D.
Yeah. So with all that being said, I think Egghead is the worst arc in the show. Totally ruins. Dude, can you believe that they revealed that Gear 5 is actually just like delusion, and it was the entirety of One Piece was a dream the whole time? That was insane.
I think you're thinking of Film Red.
I can't believe the end of Egghead was Luffy waking up in a hospital bed in the real world and going back to his high school in modern day Japan. That was crazy.
Probably whatever he's on.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, so I think either.
Oh, okay. So you're still putting it potential number 1. I'm very happy to see that.
I'm putting it probably here.
Okay. I mean, whatever. That's really good.
It's a toss-up. I could go either way.
Put it above Whole Cake then, for me.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, Wano. I don't think this is going to be a more controversial take than Marineford, though.
Yeah, that's actually true. Like we've kind of glossed over how controversial the Marineford was.
Yeah. Well, we moved it back up, so it's not
true.
Although we did say Marineford, according to us, is not a top 10 arc in One Piece, which is.
Yeah. So let me lead into our opinion, because you obviously read Wano. I only watched it recently, like long after the anime was out. And when you know, Blix here is what I call a hater. You know.
True.
Yeah. So he doesn't deny it, and I know that. So when I started the arc. And he immediately said, like, I hope you like side characters, and I'm like, all right, he's being a hater again, you know. No. Like, I'm sure everybody says Wano is peak. I'm sure I'm gonna love this arc. It's Japan themed, the animation, blah blah blah. No, he was exactly right. Like, the arc starts off actually really hype. The beginning of it was really hype. Like it was, the animation styles new. Everything felt fresh.
Yeah. When they introduced Zoro for the first time.
Yes.
That was cool.
Like all the characters with their roles and everything like that, and then you meet these samurai, and well, you can take this one.
Yeah, so I hate the scabbards, dude. I don't like any of the characters who are like. That sounds racist. I don't like any of the characters who come from Wano. Like, all of them, I feel like they just waste my time. This is. Hot take, I didn't really care about the Odin flashback. The coolest part for me was seeing Roger and Whitebeard and like their crews. But like all of the stuff that was about Odin or about the scabbards, I'm just like, I don't really care that much. I didn't feel like I really needed to see it. To me, I've compared it before to Alabasta with Vivi being a part of the crew, because I think it's the only similar thing where like Kinemon and Momo are just kind of there for half of the show, doing nothing.
Yeah.
But like my thing is with Vivi and Alabasta, she really felt like part of the crew, and people still call Vivi a Straw Hat, even though it's been what 900 episodes since she was part of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna call Momo or Kinemon Straw Hats.
No, hell no. Hell no.
People were more excited for Yamato being a Straw Hat than either of the two characters who were on the crew for like more of the show than Vivi has been on screen. Like, let's be honest. Momo and Kinemon probably individually have more screen time than Vivi each.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, I generally agree with all that. I like some. I like Oden a little bit, but I don't think he's a well-written character. I think he's a very, very much a Gary Stu. But I think that it's okay because his point is sort of just more like representing the overall plot and how like he's kind of like Luffy, you know, someone who's trying to be free in a world that doesn't let you be free, and like he kind of represents a lot of stuff, and I think that was good. I also thought the Togen Shirataki, like when he cuts that like creature in half, was extremely hype, even though it didn't matter, and some stuff like that. And then yeah, I find the samurai very uninteresting. I mean, they're One Piece characters, like they're very, very One Piece characters where they're like, you know, giant heads on some of them and like really like corny stuff, which is like, you know, that is like a very One Piece thing. But you know, to what you've said is that, like, they don't really have a point. You know, at the end of the arc, it's like, did they really do anything? You know, but for me, I mean, having watched it in the anime at least. Because I don't know, I've spoken to people that say this arc is amazing. That's and they watch the anime.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like, because you get to, what is it, Act 3, because it's divided into acts. When they're on Onigashima, the Kaido Island, there's like that could have been like literally like a tenth as long as it was to have all the relevant moments happen.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's another Marineford situation where this arc has a lot of really, 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 really good moments with a bunch of mid in between them. And people think about the arc as an aggregate of its best moments as opposed to watching it. Like, okay, the epitome of the Wano experience for me is the first episode where Gear 5 shows up, and it's sick, and the animation is great. And you're loving it, and like Kaido's getting his eyes popped out of his head, and then it hard cuts to Hiyori, and that's the rest of the episode. And you're like, wait, but this was really cool, and I liked watching this a lot. Why am I watching this bum Hiyori? Actually, this is great. The picture for Wano, Gear 5 in the forefront, Hiyori right there. This is a perfect. That's a perfect representation of what it feels like to watch Wano.
Okay, I like Hiyori, but yeah, that didn't make any sense for that to be there.
Like, Gear 5 is here, and it's really cool, and then there's Hiyori just like crying in the background.
I think as valid as that is, if we're really complaining about a character being in that episode that we didn't want to see, it's freaking Orochi.
Okay, but they're part of the same problem, which is them hard cutting away from Gear 5 in his introduction.
Yes. Should we get to rank? I mean, I'm sure we could talk a lot more about the arc, but like, I think our points are clear.
I don't. It's hard to rank it on a. I think it's worse than Marineford.
Yeah.
Does it make it into A tier?
Honestly, dude, for my personal anime experience of the arc, I might put it in C tier, but I think that's a little unfair because there's Gear 5.
Yeah, I can't put it into C tier because of the Zoro fight, the Sanji fight.
Yeah, it had some amazing, like the moments were amazing. It's just, and I'm not making a case for a C anymore. I'm just saying like why I would even consider that is.
No, I can see it.
There was an unfathomable amount of nothing happening to where it like the big moments don't even like excite me anymore. It's just like let them happen already. Like
for me, like all I remember of Wano is like Luffy getting on the island. He gets one shot by Kaido. He goes to prison, and then they do the raid. And that could be all of Wano, and I would be fine with it.
Yeah. Well, the raid itself. But again, but we're not trying to just judge on anime either, so I got to keep that in mind. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Maybe
in,
we'll put
in the manga, it wasn't that drawn out. I still have the same complaints about I hate the samurai and I don't like any of the time where they're on screen.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. But yeah, I think like low A or high B.
Yeah. I guess we put it in A. I mean, it's like, then I start thinking about the impact of it. Like,
Yeah, so above Arlong Park, above Jaya, like, here's the thing.
I mean,
Wano is probably, in terms of the lore of the series, Wano is probably above like Arlong Park or Jaya or Logtown, but in terms of experiencing them, I feel like I did not enjoy Wano as much as those arcs.
it's like I can't compare it. I can't compare it because it's like
Above all.
a week of my life versus months of my life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine kind of with the A, like anywhere and like low A.
Yeah, I like Wano more than Arlong Park, I think.
I think so too.
Because Arlong Park has a similar thing where it's, like we said before, it's one really good moment and then most of the rest of it is just okay.
Yeah.
But I think the highs in Wano, well, are they better? Well, I think they're better.
Yeah, that's true. There's no moment in Wano that I liked as much as Nami stabbing her arm, but I think she should probably be better than Arlong Park.
Yeah, I think like the Gear 5 is
incredible.
Yeah. And
then yeah, there's a lot of other really good moments. I always make a case, and since I'm in a video now, I'm gonna say it. I always make a case for the freaking fight with Killer versus Hawkins being an incredible fight because it's like one of the only One Piece fights that was actually resolved in like an intellectual way instead of someone just being stronger than the other person.
Sure.
But yeah, it's better than Arlong Park. Let's yeah.
Is it better? It's probably better than Jaya.
Yeah. Looking at Jai over Wano was hilarious. Even though Jai was dead, I had less misery watching Jaya. I'll tell you that.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
I would prefer to watch Jaya again than to watch Wano again.
Well, there's literally every single arc on here I would prefer to watch again over Wano.
I would not prefer to watch Pug Hazard.
but you would be done with it much quicker. Like if we're talking watching it as opposed to reading it.
Yeah,
that's the point.
I guess I read both of them. So see, I can finish Wano in like an afternoon. So
yeah, if you're reading
that bad. That's the thing, because I read my story is I started reading the manga at Punk Hazard and I caught up that day, and that was when the current arc was Egghead still.
He ate the reed fruit or something here. I don't know.
Yeah, so like all of post time skip for me was like an afternoon and an evening.
Yeah.
So I don't have like the visceral hatred for the longer arcs.
I do. Yeah, I do, and yet I think Dressrosa is significantly better than Wano. That's the thing. I've heard people say the opposite. Makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. But you know,
I guess people like the samurai. I don't know.
I guess I don't know.
Okay.
It's just yeah.
Okay, so do we want to do any reordering? Let's go through it. Orange Town, Syrup Village, this is fine. I think the Beans Future are fine.
Yeah.
Post-war, being at the bottom of B, yeah. Reverie, Romance Dawn, Zoe. I would make a separate tier for Zoe that's just who? Whiskey Peak. Yeah. Drum Island. Okay, so Drum Island. Do we want to put Drum Island higher?
Right. Then Baratie. Yeah.
Then Baratie for sure. Do we think we can put it in the A tier though?
You know, it's interesting. I think this was the first one we ranked.
Yeah, or one of the first ones. I think it was Romance Dawn and then probably Drum Island or something like that.
Is Drum Island worse than Arlong Park? That's tough.
Wapol kind of sucks.
He does suck.
But the stuff with Luffy climbing the mountain and then meeting Chopper and then
Dr. Kureha is great in the flashback.
Yeah.
Also, that one guy is kind of cool.
Dalton?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of the arc where, like, Vivi is, like, being a diplomat was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Drum Island has anything in it that is as good as the stuff in Arlong Park.
Definitely
I think
not.
it could be A tier, but below Arlong Park.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And yeah, Arlong Park, talked about Jaya.
Yeah.
Wano between Lowtown and Jaya. Amazon Lily, Skypiea. Skypiea up this high. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's like I don't know, man. This is a really hard tier list to make.
Yeah. Thriller
There
Bark.
should be like separate tier lists for like average length of the arc. That would be the easier way. But yeah.
Yeah, Thriller Bark above Wano might get me cooked. But
Oh,
I
boy.
stand by it. I would rather watch Thriller Bark again than watch Wano.
Same, for sure, 100%.
Alabasta, yeah, that's fair.
Marineford.
Post-Enies lobby, return to Sabaody, Fishman. Yeah, okay, I think this is right.
Reverse Mountain is still kind of funny.
Yeah, that's you. That is
I
your
know,
decision.
I know.
So you gotta
It's
stand
two
by
episodes,
that.
though. It's two
That's your
episodes, and
boy.
one of them is them getting to the Grand Line. When can that happen again? It
That's
can't.
your boy. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's what you list.
Yeah, all right.
All right,
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, perfect tier list.
All right.
Great.
You got a YouTube sign off or anything?
Yeah. No.